They say all your nerves are channeled through your mustache. It's 100% a true fact, by the way. Much better. All right. Everybody having a nice time tonight? Yeah, nobody, huh? All right, well, you know what else isn't a nice time? Is being seen naked by a cop. Anyone? No? All right. That being said, I consider myself to be a little bit more of a storyteller rather than a comedian. And tonight's story is 100% true and did happen to me. I was introduced to somebody recently. What's his name? No, it was a woman. There's no sugar in this tank. So I was introduced to a woman recently, and she was nice, but every time we'd gone out, it seemed that it just ended in a makeout. And after a few weeks of dating, that gets old. And, dating's expensive nowadays. And it's like my mom always said to me as a young kid, if she's not putting out, she better be putting in. So one night I decided to have a little self-respect, and I said, no, I will not sit here in this car and make out with you. I'm taking you straight home after dinner. But, she decided to be a little aggressive, insistent even, and who am I to say no? So I fell for her seduction, and I made a poor choice, and I decided to drive us out to Longboat Key Beach. And if you don't know, it's a pretty heavily policed beach. But, what are you going to do? It was the heat of the moment. It was late at night, and I made a decision. She fucked around, and it was time for her to find out. So what she found out was us in my back seat. And I do, in fact, have a little bit more to love in this general area. So I had a little Winnie the Pooh maneuver. Just a shirt, naked from the waist down, trying to get my hands in that honey pot. You know what I'm saying? I was immediately asked to stop making Winnie the Pooh references. So right before I had a chance to do anything, we were sitting there in the back seat, and I saw an SUV driving down the road with a spotlight hanging out the window. So I did what any reasonable man would do. I jumped back in the front seat without putting any clothes back on, crushed her leftovers chili box, and I tried to speed out of the parking lot. It was, in fact, a cop, and he cut me off in the parking lot, flipped his lights on, and I'm standing there looking at the lights, and now I'm playing a little scared turtle. I'm still half naked from the waist down, and I have bacon chicken ranch quesadilla all over my ass. And now, the Incredible Hulk proceeds to get out of the SUV. He was probably double my height, bald, tattoos, and his arms were roughly the size of my thighs. And he walks up to the window. I was too afraid to say anything, but I managed to roll my window down. Looking around in my car with a flashlight. Puts the flashlight in the passenger seat. He goes, sir, are those your pants? I look at him. Yeah, those are my pants. He goes, is that what's going on here tonight? I said, yeah, that's what's going on here tonight. He goes, what the fuck? He goes, get the fuck out of the car. So I did what he asked, and I got out of the car. He's like, dude, put your fucking pants back on. So I grabbed my pants, and I immediately walked to the front of the car, and I put my hands down on the hood, and I said, just take me away, goddammit. Was ready to go. What he did next, I really respected. He walked to the back seat, and he opened the door, and he was like, hey, are you okay? Was this consensual? And blah, blah, blah. And, I really respect him for that. But what about me? I was practically taken advantage of. And yeah, now she's a registered sex offender. I'm just kidding. She's not a registered sex offender. So he comes to me, and now I'm in an obvious state of distress. And he goes, dude, what's wrong? Why do you look so upset? I'm like, honestly, I just got home with the fire department 3 days ago. I haven't even started yet. If I get in any trouble, I'm going to lose my job. So he's like, all right, well, let me get your IDs, make sure you guys aren't wanted criminals, and you'll be on your way. So he grabbed our IDs, and I'm like, all right. So I gave him my registration, my insurance, my driver's license, a leftover takeout Chinese menu. I gave him everything I had to give. And he comes back after a minute with his handcuffs out, and he goes, all right, you ready to go to jail? I'm like, oh, fuck. And he's like, oh, I'm just fucking with you. He goes, if you're going to be a firefighter, you got to get used to us cops fucking with you. And I just about had a heart attack. That was a pretty nerve-wracking moment. And so just as I'm getting ready to get in the car and head out, a second set of lights pulls in. And I knew I won over one cop. I wasn't going to be able to win over a second one. And he rolls down his window, and all he did was point at me, and he goes, "Ha! Been there, done that." And that was fucking mortifying. And I have not been to the beach since. And the fucked up part about that is when the fire department got that body cam footage, they fired me anyhow.